Buddy, talking a little fantasy football news. What's in the news? Obviously, things like Raheem Mostert wanting a trade. Will it happen? What's the impact of that from a fantasy perspective for the 49er players, for Mostert himself? We've been talking and kicking around the idea of what if the 49ers went after Kareem Hunt. All rumor, but it's been fun talking about it. At least a lot of people have been amped about that kind of conversation during a COVID-19 quarantine off season where we got to make up our own entertainment. What's up, JP? JP is a member, exclusive member. I see his little badge. Atta boy, JP. What's up, J man? What's up, official? What's up, Nick? What's up, Sergio? I'll be doing a Q&A, answering questions with you for about an hour or so, talking about Raheem Mostert. What do you guys think of Mostert, first of all? If he ends up staying in San Francisco, which I fully expect, JP using the emojis, custom emojis, attaboy. What do you guys think of Mostert? If Mostert is in San Francisco, which I fully expect him to be, I don't think anyone's going to trade for him. Uh, this is what's funny about Mostert. We just got out of an offseason where running backs better than Mostert couldn't find a home, like Hunt. Um, Melvin Gordon had trouble finding a landing spot. Mostert is 28 years old. Do you know who also is 28 years old? Devonta Freeman. So let's not twist it up and act like Devonta Freeman in the right spot couldn't, you know, do well for one more year, maybe two. I don't think he'll ever return to his old elite form. But mark my words, man, if Freeman ends up in San Fran, if Mostert sits out, which I doubt he'll do, he has no leverage. Mostert has zero leverage. Like I've been talking about, Sergio has got it right on my live. You don't, this is like Bill from accounting typing up his first TPS report. He's halfway through. He's killing it. Bill's killing that TPS report. He's dropping it like there's no tomorrow. Everyone's like, Bill, you are fantastic at TPS reporting, bro. You are dropping it like it's hot. In the middle, he hasn't even completed the full TPS report. This is his first day. And if Bill slams it down, stands up and says, I want to raise or I'm not finishing my first ever TPS report, which I'm tearing up. That's what Mostert's doing. Now, I get that he looked great. I get that he's in the second best rushing offense in the NFL, and the numbers are going to be there for him. He's going to do well. But San Francisco's got to pay Kittle. San Francisco doesn't really necessarily have the luxury right now to be like, oh, let's give a guy that's 28 years old. And I know his windows are closing, and I don't blame him for wanting that contract. Who can blame somebody for wanting to get paid when they're 28 years old and they can't get themselves, a chance until right now at 28? It's like it's bad advice he's getting because he literally has not finished his TPS report yet, and he's standing up, slamming down the paperwork, saying, "I want my raise and I want it now." You got to drop it for a whole year, bro. I'm sorry, Mostert, but you have no leverage whatsoever. As someone that has Mostert in Dynasty, what should I do? You hold him. Nothing's going to happen. He's not going to sit out, and he's going to play for the 49ers, and he's going to do really well. He's going to be 29 the next time he goes contract hunting, and he unfortunately probably won't get that much. So I'm going to go pick A.J. Brown. Be right back. Go get him, JP. Someone has Mostert. Okay, Nick, I'm on the clock. What are you guys drafting? Smitty, hopefully the power doesn't go out for me when I draft in my money league. Corey, get on your phone if you got to do that, bro. Power can't hold back a draft in 2020. What do you live in a cave? I thought that store behind you said Team Smitty. No, someday I will have a store. You wait, bro. It's been a dream of mine to have like a fantasy shop where you can walk in and just talk to Smitty for $5-10 like that. You just walk in, slam it down on like just like Bill from accounting, slam it down and say I want advice, Smitty, and I want it now. Elgin, what's going on, man? Smitty, do you think QB running Carolina hurts Christian McCaffrey? No. McCaffrey's gonna be fine, bro. He's been being overworked anyway. Like, I'm not saying dial him back a ton, but like it won't hurt to dial him back a tiny bit. And if there's efficient QB running, it's gonna make CMC maybe more efficient. You know what I mean? Most of another back in that 49er system, says JP. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to FaceTime and talk to you. No problem, Corey. Does Cam to New England help N'Keal Harry and Edelman? Who does it help more? I think it helps N'Keal Harry. First of all, N'Keal Harry has good rapport with Stidham, who has an very outside shot of starting in 2020 because Cam's got to learn a lot. You know, it's possible. You know, struggling Cam, and I highly doubt Cam's not starting, but I'm just saying it's possible. And N'Keal Harry's got good rapport with Stidham. They're coming up together. Um, and I think having that big body that kind of reminds me of Calvin Benjamin, but a way better version, N'Keal Harry I'm talking about, is a great thing for Cam. And Cam will utilize N'Keal Harry, who can grab a football on a 5-yard slant and take it 15, 20 more yards, knifing and using his strength across the middle. That's Cam's guy. Like, I think N'Keal Harry is going to be used quite a bit. Cam won't start week one, according to many sources, says JP. That's what I'm talking about. That there's a thought that if he doesn't come along quickly, which he could, you never know what can happen. But Stidham's not like in the biggest driver's seat either, bro. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like, he's had more time in the offense, sure, but Cam's had more time in the league, and Cam's going to pick shit up really quickly, pick up things that Stidham's trying to learn that Cam already knows. So Cam's going to know a whole lot more about reading defenses and defenses in general and picking up different schemes, whereas Stidham's kind of been learning all that. So don't be surprised if Cam can surpass Stidham in knowledge about the offense really quickly. I'm just saying there's a shot. We don't know how much Bill loves Stidham. Smitty, how many roster spots should I have in a redraft league? Dude, doesn't matter. Like, go 18, 17 and have awesome waiver wire action all year long. Go 22, 25, have awesome bench stashes and be the guy that has that guy hiding on his bench. You know, have the Gibsons, have the, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like even deeper guys than that. The Boston Scots, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter, bro. There's no bad way to play. And I hate when people act like a small roster spot, because I do a lot of smaller roster spots to keep the free agency stuff fun. When you do a league for followers, or you do a league for on YouTube, or you do a league that you want a lot of engagement on, the smaller the roster, the better, because it gets people active. And the smaller the roster, the more there's still a chance that like the team that drafted bad could recover, and that's kind of cool. And the people that don't know what they're doing are going to fall asleep at the wheel and not pick up the right guys at the right time. And really, in a way, it can separate you from the rest if you're doing great waiver wire grabbing. So I like deep and shallow leagues, man. It doesn't matter. Sutton or DK, give me DK all day long and 4 times on Sunday, bro. I like Sutton, but Sutton got Jerry Jeudy handed to him in a basket on his doorstep. Like, hey, surprise, you're no longer the starter or the number one wide receiver here for the future. You might have that spot for another year and a half, but it's the Jerry Jeudy show. Uh, Tickets are on sale, man. James White or Tariq Cohen? White. I mean, opportunity alone. Cohen's no, you can pick him up. He's no slum, but you got to go with White, bro. Smitty, do you think the Patriots will utilize more of James White? Absolutely. I don't know how long he'll hold on to the job, though. Traded Claypool, Van Jefferson, Jonu Smith, 2023 first for Kareem Hunt. I like it. I like it. Screw the late 2023 pick, man. Unless your team sucks, who cares about it? Why am I nervous about Clyde Edwards-Helaire where he is being drafted now? Sand, because you're listening to the noise, the horrible noise that's kind of floating around right now in regards to this situation. Here are the facts. There's risk, bro. Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket for any player. If you own Clyde Edwards-Helaire in 11 of your 12 leagues, you weren't listening. Even I don't do that, because look what happens. The Darrell Henderson's happened. The Dalvin Cooks happened too. The Pat Mahomes happened. That was a guy in a double-digit rounds. I said would be a top 5 guy. I'm not going to hit everything, and there's a chance that Clyde Edwards-Helaire tears his knee up in week 1, bro. Anything can happen. You have to spread it out. So why are you nervous? You can only be nervous if you own him everywhere. If you only own him in 2 or 3 or 4 leagues out of 12, what are you nervous about? You still got a whole bunch of other leagues to carry you if something bad happens. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire, there isn't more writing on the wall for a player coming out of college than him. And LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, Zeke Elliott, Saquon Barkley. So Saquon Barkley, Elliott, LaDainian Tomlinson, Adrian Peterson to me, but he was very controversial, believe it or not. People are probably like, what? No way. Yeah, he was 50% thought he was going to be a bust, 50% loved him. AP was controversial, but I saw and thought, damn, this is a home freaking run. I get that. I don't just have like that Darrell Henderson. I love the guy. I love, it didn't work out yet. Don't write off Henderson yet. He has a cracked door, cracked opening. Give him a shot. Don't write him off yet. But Darrell Henderson was a cool breakout. Like, I got a great feeling. He's a talented guy. Numbers are there. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is that Zeke Elliott feeling. He is that guy that could completely explode and be a total difference maker for 10 years, or not 7 years. He's a running back, 6 to 7 years. He's a smaller guy, so I think he could have 4 or 5 elite years and then linger for a couple of years. I think he could withstand some injury. Thoughts on Ingram and Dobbins? I like both together if the price is right in redraft. In Dynasty, it won't be right because JK is going to go really high. Although Ingram could fall back pretty low, and you still could maybe pair him up. But I like him as a duo where you can get him. I like Ingram standalone at the right price. Like, we're talking like flex worthy. JK is hard to trust in redraft, as is Jonathan Taylor, as is Clyde Edwards-Helaire in week 1, week 2, week 3. Again, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, don't be nervous about him. Just understand the risk and understand the reward's way greater than the risk. And anything can happen, man. Anybody cannot do well. Already answered your question, Preston. Drafting Mahomes in the second round. When can I get Wilson in the 3rd or 4th? Is it a reach to draft Mahomes in the second round when I can get? Absolutely not. No. I mean, I go over this like on the daily, bro. I don't even want to waste people's time because I talk about it so much. But nutshell, 1 to 2 sentences. I'm going to start doing that with some of my content. I do 1 to 2 sentences. I'm on a timer. Mahomes at 22, and Hollywood Brown in round 6 or 7 versus whoever wide receiver that person takes in the second round that calls you a fool for taking Mahomes in the second round versus their quarterback that they take down the way where you drafted Hollywood. It's apples to apples, man. Think about it. Mahomes and Hollywood versus Mike Evans and whatever quarterback. If that quarterback ends up being Josh Allen, whether it ends up being, even if it was a Drew Brees or somebody that good and they had that good a wide receiver, I still like Pat Mahomes, bro. But I think Mahomes is throwing 50 TDs. If you don't, then why in the hell would you draft him in the second round? But that's where the difference is. It does not matter where we're each drafting him. What matters is what we project for Mahomes. If you don't think Mahomes is a top 20, let me rephrase this for you. I have 30 seconds left. If you don't think Mahomes is a first rounder and he's going to throw 50 TDs, you need to get a checkup from the neck up. If you think he's going to throw 50 TDs, I'm not necessarily talking to you, bro. I'm not yelling at you. Helicopters are back. If you literally think that Mahomes can throw 50 TDs and you don't draft him and you don't think he's worthy of drafting in the first round, you're crazy. Do you draft him in the first round? No, you'd be even crazier to draft him in the first round because he doesn't go in the first round. Why would you waste a first round pick on a quarterback in a 1 QB league when you could get him at pick 15 every single time? Now, in a 2 QB league or Superflex, he's going in the top 5, especially if it's 6 points per TD pass, which a lot of times Superflex leagues are. But Mahomes is not in a 2 QB league. He's top 4 in a 1 QB league. Even if it's 4 points per TD pass, he's still top 18, top 15, top 22. Don't let anybody convince you otherwise. I have a second pick in redraft, so taking Saquon, but and all the mocks I do in my leagues, Eckler drops to a lot of times the second round. Who you take in the second round, Eckler or Godwin? That depends what you do. So if you already have Barkley, um, Godwin's pretty safe, but I kind of like Eckler because you can go Barkley, Eckler, AJ Brown, and DK, or AJ Brown and Allen Robinson, or AJ Brown, Chark, and Hollywood Brown. You could get a dual wide receiver crew that can hang with any of the wide receiver ones in the second round, in my opinion, and those guys. I think DK is going to hang with the wide receivers in the second round. I think Chark could definitely hang with those guys. I think AJ Brown's going to be way better than those guys. AJ Brown's going to be first round type material in 2020. That's my prediction, and I've been pimping that for forever. What's up, Renee? Thoughts on Devin Singletary? I like Devin Singletary. Just be careful drafting him in too many leagues. Like I might want to own him in like one league. I like him a lot, and I want to have a lot of faith in him, but in like one league because I don't trust that situation entirely yet in terms of usage and Moss and what they're going to do. Trade Bell in Dynasty or roll with them. It depends on the value, dude. Don't trade him for nothing. Don't trade him for nothing, but he's got a year and a half left. I would not even call it 2 years. I'd say a year to a year and a half left. I'm not going to call it anything more than that. LeBell is not washed up. LeBell might appear to be washed up. LeBell may play 2020 like he's washed up, and you'll never know the difference. You'll think LeBell sucked. You'll never know everything. You'll go to your grave thinking LeBell was burned out, washed up, and not worth crap in 2020. And you wouldn't be wrong because perception is reality. But he's sitting in New York where he's getting wasted away. He's still doing very productive things regardless of how quietly he's being productive. He's being very quietly productive. Top 15 in yak yards, doing well in PPR still, lingering around. They don't want him there. The head coach makes stupid comments about how they shouldn't have paid him that much money. It's really dumb. I don't know why. Like, the dumbest, more dumb than Bill O'Brien in Houston is the Jets keeping Gase. I don't know what they see in Gase or why you would give him even one more day because he's ruining that team. They're not going to be able to revamp that franchise until he's gone. So why not rip the Band-Aid off now and get the dude out of there? Because he's wasting away LeBell. He doesn't even want LeBell there. It's a negative situation, very toxic. LeBell has top 5 to 10 running back potential in Tampa Bay. He has top 5 to 10 running back potential in New England. He has top 5 to 10 running back potential pretty much anywhere he would go to potentially be a starter or a full-time volume guy. LeBell is not washed up. LeBell did a lot of good things last year. LeBell is in a situation that a lot of running backs, you can take pretty much anybody but Barkley, McCaffrey, probably like Kamara and Zeke. Anybody else you put in that situation, maybe even Dalvin Cook, you put him there, he would not look good anymore to the level you're expecting because the Jets are ruining him. The Jets are ruining LeBell, and everybody doesn't know it. Now, if they trade him somehow, I don't know how. It'd be like a midseason trade where a team needed a running back. They want to win it. I don't see it happening before that, and it's still a long shot to happen at that point. But if he got traded into the right situation, he could blow up in the second half of the year, and he could still do good enough to warrant his ADP. I like LeBell. I was actually, I think, here the last time I talked about LeBell in terms of a lengthy conversation, and I said that I'm starting to really like LeBell's ADP now. It's been climbing. I'm not saying I move ADP all the time, but I swear to you, every time I start pimping a player and you guys start mock drafting that player, you just move the ADP up. Now LeBell's getting taken higher, way higher than he was the last time I was right here in this setting talking to you about it. When I was like, how the hell did LeBell fall to the 5th round? I gave you my frog in boiling water analogy where you put a frog in boiling water. It's an analogy, not the truth. Stop coming at me, all you people out there that are fact checking this. You put a frog in boiling water, he jumps out. You put a frog in lukewarm water, he doesn't. You turn it on high and he bakes to death, and he doesn't even know because the water gradually gets hotter and hotter, and he just sits there and then bakes to death. That is what people do with ADP value. LeBell, don't want him. Don't trust him. Bum, 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 bum. He drops. Eventually, you don't even realize he dropped into a great location, a great place, and you got to rethink. You got to step away and say, let me look at ADP again. Oh my God, I actually do like his value now. People did that with Dalvin Cook last year. Dalvin Cook, top five running back, no way. He'll bust on you. He's now ranked eighth, Bob. Dalvin Cook, he can't be a top five running back. Hey, Bob from accounting or Bill, he's now ranked 12th. I still don't like LeBell. I'm sorry, LeBell. Dalvin Cook, he's a risk. He can't be a top five running back. Bob, he's now ranked ADP wise at 15. Cook could get hurt at any moment. You're really going to put your season on the line with your running back one if Cook goes down? Bill, when are you going to wake up and notice that Dalvin Cook fell to pick 22 overall? That's what we were dealing with Dalvin Cook all offseason last offseason from January to about June, July. Then people started picking it up. His ADP started climbing. People started getting that itch to, oh, maybe he is going to be the guy that he was supposed to be. And maybe he is a value. That happens to the best of us. We don't realize ADP changes and fluctuates. LeBell was one of those examples when I was in this setting many weeks ago, talking about how I love LeBell's ADP. Now LeBell's climbing again. He's back to like third round value at times, and I don't get it. It's you guys. You guys are mock drafting him and raising his ADP. Smitty, are you feeling the sushi vibe? No. Smitty, what round will you draft Mark Andrews or Hollywood? Mark Andrews is a fifth round lock to me. If I see him in the fifth round, I'm grabbing him. Hollywood, I hope 6-7 range, but sometimes he goes earlier. AJ Brown and Henry. I love AJ Brown and Henry. I love AJ Brown in the fourth round. I love Henry at the bottom of the first, but really love him at the top of the second. Bell in a better situation could be a monster again. That's what I've just been talking about, Renee, and I 100% agree. Let's hope somehow, some way he gets traded midseason. But I think we need to stop drafting him at like top of the third value, though. He's climbed back up to a risky range, but I like him. Got pick 21 in a 32 team league. That's crazy. How do you approach that? I don't even draft in those, Jay. Jay, welcome. Jay is an exclusive member of the YouTube membership program, and Jay's going to get some attention here. Jay says, pick 21. I don't even do those drafts, dude, at all. I've done them before, but like, I'd have to say at pick 21, running backs are going to fly off the board. I'm assuming it's a one QB, Jay, but QBs too. Like if Mahomes were there and I didn't love the running backs, dude, I'd roll with a Hunt as my running back one and a Mahomes if I had to. You're talking about 21 as your first overall pick. That is crazy. So best player available, bro. Like that's my formula for every draft. And when things are even or even really close to even, I'll play around with that a little bit. I'll go running back, even though maybe I like the wide receiver like Mike Thomas better, but I'm not getting Corona. Actually, how would I know? I could be. Think I love that when you're around somebody and they sneeze or cough and they're like, it's not Corona, it's allergies. Like, how do you know? You can't say that. You don't know. That cough could have been the first cough of many coronaviruses. I'm out without a mask. But do you see anybody? There's no one here. I'm not catching Rona. I don't think Rona's been blowing around in this area for the last 2 hours waiting for me. Maybe it has. Maybe it has. Whatever. Like it's gonna stop me. I'm still gonna live. What's up, Smitty and gang? What's going on, Open 24? Smitty, is Kamara that far behind Barkley this year? 0.5 PPR? Nah, not that far behind Barkley, but I mean, I want Barkley more. I love my coworker. My coworker thought it was allergies. Went to the doctor, told him he had Rona. Been home ever since. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so funny if you're like, I don't have Rona. It's just allergies. Like, how do you know that? You don't know that. Don't come coughing around me and try and just play it off. Like, it's okay. I know it. I got a home Rona test where I take it every night. You don't know she got. I wish I could get pizza, bro. They're closed. This ain't cool, dude. It's not that late here. It's not that late here. That pizza should be open. Let's go look at the menu. You guys want to get hungry with me? Even that salad looks good. Even that sign looks good. That sign looks tasty. Oh, that deep dish right there. That deep dish looks good. I need to come here on my next live, and usually when I do that, one of you super chats me uh, the pizza. Done. I'm doing it. I'm doing it next time. Uh, let's see. Boldest take for 2020 Cardinals bust. You know, Ronaldo, I'm not going to say that's that crazy. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but definitely think it's possible, within the realm of possibility because look what happened to the Browns. Very, very, smells very similar, but I don't think it is, but it smells that way. In a startup, Superflex auction, spent most of my cash on five guys: Lamar, Kyler, McCaffrey, Breida. You spent money on Breida. Kelsey, $1 to $5 guys. I mean, Mecole Hardman, Slayton. Go get those two guys at wide receiver. Tony Pollard, the usual suspects. Madison, Lat Murray, league winners. Hidden value in Hurst, yeah, but dude, what's going on with that? Why does everybody assume Hayden Hurst is like just going to explode? I mean, I watch football, guys, and I don't get that. I mean, I got to go watch this film again. I don't understand where this is coming from. The stats don't really read that way. I don't really feel in my gut, and I could be wrong. Sometimes my gut's a little late because I'm focusing on all these other players, and I'm not really analyzing Hurst, and maybe I need to. I'm going to go watch Hurst film after this and figure out if I'm wrong or what's going on because I don't get it. I had in the Throne League, and we drafted Gronk and Greg Olson, and one of the other teams grabbed Hurst and Goddard and was laughing at us like, "You're the worst tight ends ever." And I get that Hurst is a little more appealing than Gronk to some people, but I don't care what anybody else says. I would draft Gronk over Hurst in a redraft, 100%. I just don't see it. I don't get why everybody's so enamored by Hurst in 2020. I don't see it. And Gronk, like we even put a poll up on my own page, my own stories on Instagram with my own people, my own soldiers, and they voted like 20-30% in favor of Gronk and Olsen over Hurst and Goddard. And to me, it's like this is an arguable thing. Like I can get either side, but how the hell are you? How is it that slanted where people are like, "Oh my God, Hurst is a lock," whereas Gronk isn't? Like, what the hell is going on here? I don't understand it. I think Gronk is going to be fine. Jay, I'm sorry, I'm trying to focus on Jay. Nikhil Harry, I like Nikhil Harry. I think Kyler will finish his top two QB. That could happen. Austin Corey, some tips on two QBs. What are some tips given the order in order to win fantasy leagues besides drafting two QBs and Superflex? I mean, just getting the right QBs, not just drafting QBs first or anything. It's getting the right QBs. Jay, I'm trying to find your comment again, Jay. Jay, hit me with a follow up because I lost your comment somewhere. Sorry, I was working. I stepped away. I forgot, or I stepped away for a bit. Sorry, these comments are going so fast I can't even read it. What are you trying to ask me about? I don't know. I feel like I didn't answer your question fully. So if you got a follow up, is there going to be football? Um, yeah, I think there will be football, bro. I think there could be some kind of bump on the road for sure, like delayed week one, stoppage, shortened season. I don't know, but I don't think I don't think football is going to be just all these people saying that football is done. All that it's going to be a slow process if they're going to rip football from us. The football NFL is different than the other sports. There's so much money to be made, and I know we saw the NCAA just like close up. That was shocking to me. I would have never predicted that the NCAA tournament would shut down without any kind of like attempt to try and do a shorter season or whatever. So I should preface by saying since that didn't go the way I thought, anything can happen. But at the same time, I feel like football is different. Football will try. We're also at a point right now where people look. I'm in Arizona. It's bad here. and people are still going back and doing stuff. Like restaurants kind of closed their doors again and are doing takeout only, but they didn't close entirely. Um, colleges are kind of back, even with COVID, they're still back. Banks are reopened, even with it getting. It's like COVID's the worst it's been, dude. The worst it's been, but people are moving on. Like it's not shutting down, and I'm probably in the worst state out of all the states. Maybe California is as bad. I don't know, but Arizona is probably the worst state for COVID-19, and things are like pulling back again a little bit, but things are not closing. I wouldn't be shocked if the NFL's like, F it, we're not going to close. Sorry, like we got to move on, and to close down the NFL for a full year would have a catastrophic effect in a lot of ways to the economy, people's jobs, so much money at stake. Um, I don't know, man. I don't see them. If the NFL is not going to have a season, this is my guess because all this is guesswork at this point. You cannot have any factual information. People that come to me and say it's not going to happen, they know this, they know that. You don't know shiat. You don't know shiat because no one knows. No one knows. Stop acting like anyone knows. Nobody knows, okay? No, I'm in the worst state. I think I know a little bit more than somebody in, I don't even know if North Carolina is bad. If it is, correct me, but North Carolina, it says Corona's fake. It's like, dude, it's not fake, you idiot. But it's also blown out of proportion a little bit. Yes, need to be taken more serious by younger people. Yes, there's no right answer. There's a little bit of everything. I think at every turn, everybody's a little bit right and a little bit wrong because people have these very slanted ideas about it. But I mean, if you think the NFL is just going to no season and they're not going to keep doing what they're doing, whereas 2 preseason games are gone, all preseason games are gone. Okay, we're starting in October, and then October comes. Okay, we're going to do a playoff bracket only, single elimination bracket. That's it. Some kind of wild card weekend proceeding, whatever. I don't know. They're going to figure it out. They're not just going to pull the plug before they have a chance to try and revamp some things a little bit because there's too much money at stake. The preseason is already gone, I believe, at this point. NBA about to start. MLS just started. MLB about to start. NFL will figure it out. Now, the only thing I'm going to say it worries me about all that is that a lot of these are closer contact. Yeah, the NFL is close contact, but they're going to have shields. They're going to have, probably have some kind of protective shield, which I predicted a long time ago, and everybody laughed at me. They'd have a COVID helmet. But gloves, padding, thick material, like the odds of a football player getting COVID on the field are going to be a lot lower than a basketball player where people have this innate instinct to lick their hand in the ball, just lick the ball. And soccer, close contact, people are holding onto each other, like literally butting heads and stuff. Like these are the places where COVID could take out all sports, man. Smitty, does Gronk Brady situation remind you of Marshall Cutler? No, man. I mean, honestly, like it's better than that, in my opinion. Marshall and Cutler. I mean, I shouldn't say better. The rapport is legit, is what I mean. I don't know that they're gonna have better numbers, but the rapport. It reminds me. It's funny that people think Gronk won't score touchdowns. If you don't think Gronk's gonna be healthy enough to get 800 yards, even I understand that. I'm not gonna argue that. Like we don't know. Could go either way. But the rapport between Brady and Gronk is stronger than Cutler and Marshall. And a lot of people on here probably didn't even remember Cutler Marshall. Like Marshall was great. So, he's gonna have Gronk's not gonna have Marshall numbers. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that rapport. Gronk, they're gonna play catch, bro. Brady doesn't have a rapport with anybody but Gronk. They're gonna play catch on the field. Am I allowed to stop watching and go to bed? Dried Ocean, you're a grown man. If this is not entertaining enough to keep you up, then I would, I give you the blessing, but I probably only be on for another 10, 15 minutes anyway. So, Noah, so much. Damn, these messages go by so quick. It sucks for fans in most NFL if the NFL's canceled. Dude, I have the solution. I told everybody about this on Twitter. I told everybody about this on my Instagram. I don't know that I told my YouTube community. Here's my idea. Dear NFL, cameras on every single player. Okay, let's use the Cowboys as an example. Zeke cam, Dak cam, Amari Cooper cam, CD Lamb cam, kicker cam, water cooler cam, pylon cam, field goal cam, uh, ball boy cam, cameras everywhere. You pay for a ticket if you want to have access to those cams. The cam is going to be great too. The cam, the ref cam, midfield cam, the hot dog stand cam. Literally, you buy a ticket, and on the NFL.com ticket, like let's say they create a new app for it, you can switch to whatever camera you want during the game. I don't know what it's going to look like, legality wise and with the contracts and stuff, but the NFL Red Zone was able to maneuver around that contract stuff that was Loctite, ironclad with DirecTV, right? So I imagine that these new camera angles, because they're different footage or whatever, maybe you can only be in a certain camera for a certain amount of time. I don't know. They'd have to think that shit up, all right? Get in a room and do it. Just make it happen. Imagine buying a ticket. If you're an avid Cowboys season ticket holder, you were already committed to spending money on your Cowboys. Like you put that whole money toward an event, just meeting Zeke Elliott or whatever. You're committed to your Cowboys. You're gonna pay something if there's a legit option for you to have a ticket that other people couldn't have. Let's say they only sell so many of them, or maybe they sell a limited. That's how they make their money back. But during the game, you cycle between any cam you want. If you want to watch Zeke Elliott, mid handoff, you're watching from Dak. He hands the ball to Elliott. You switch to Elliott's cam. You hear him grunting, moaning, getting hit. Whatever you want. You're in the game. You're in the game. It's political, nothing more, says computer. I'm not arguing that. But in mid game, you switch to whatever cam you want. Also, when you're in Zeke cam, you're in a Zeke chat. You have Zeke stats. You have Zeke replays. Whatever you want. You're in the Zeke chat. You're in like the Zeke room, the Zeke cam. And if you are a Zeke fan, you're going to be in there more times than not during the game, right? So imagine getting to know the people sitting next to you, chatting with you all year long, and you build camaraderie between other Cowboy fans. It's a genius idea. And if the NFL did it, the NFL would have major success with this idea if they would do it. Imagine you're in your seat, but on the app, and you're talking to other Cowboys fans, and maybe Bob from accounting or Bill from accounting is there, and you talk to him, and people start leagues together. Like just imagine the guy hanging out at the field goal cam all year long. This would be elite. This would be an elite idea and give the NFL an opportunity to sell more tickets. But the NFL's got to get creative, or they're going to lose a lot of money. Mahomes got 500 million. Is Prescott gonna get 450? He better not. He better not get 450. Prescott's nowhere on the same wavelength as Patty Mahomes, maybe. Patty doesn't. Nobody deserves what Pat got. But if anybody deserves it, and someone's got to get it, it's Patty. But nobody deserves that kind of money. That money is crazy. Money's and ridiculous. And the problem is, what kind of path have they set for everybody else, man? They paved this way to this ungodly amount of money that the NFL now, out of all times ever, if there's COVID, lack of money being generated because of COVID, this is the time you're going to give that. It's like a disaster. But yeah, Lamar got overpaid. I agree, JP, but he's legit, man. Smitty, are you coming from a fantasy football line of thinking? I do not believe the NFL is thinking that way. My thinking though has no fantasy even implied in that yet. Like, of course, I want to implement fantasy stats and all that inside each chat room and everything. But my whole thing was more camaraderie. Having a seat equates to being in a chat room with the regulars that are always in the Kittle cam on 49er football Sunday. uh, you know I just think it'd be awesome. Noah's a bot. Noah, this is a downfall of the Chiefs, says Noah. Negative Noah. Sorry, Noah. Just kidding, negative Noah. Noah was actually positive the other day. I felt it. I felt it. Noah had a positive vibe. Ain't nobody was slowing him down on that day. Noah, come back. Smitty, Murray, Kyler Murray, I imagine, and Andrews or Watson and Waller. Kyler Murray and Andrews, especially if it's dynasty. Most MVP QBs do shit afterwards. You could argue Watson and Waller. Hope Chiefs get rid of their defense now. Let Patty Mahomes play defense, dude. He needs to he needs to pick up some slack now. All right, guys. Any final questions? I wanted to get on and do a live. I'm doing some things in my studio. I'm actually adding on to my house, and I'm building my studio bigger because I need more space. I know you guys have seen my studio. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's narrow but long. It's not a closet. People have said that before, but if you've seen my studio, I've done a tour. It's a legit tiny but long room, a narrow room that I built. But I'm making a legitimately bigger, similar studio in terms of the build of it. But it's going to be bigger and it's going to be legit, man. This thing's going to be like, just wait, just wait. I feel like I'm going to piss better content than I can create right now from this room. It's going to be amazing. Like the content's going to bleed out at that point. It's going to be so fun. Let me join the NBA Analyst League. Noah, I can't. You got to be an analyst for one, and you got to have a ton of followers too. Ton of followers. So there's going to be 6 analysts in it, with what I would guess to be close to 250,000 followers combined. If you look at just those 6 accounts, something around that range, hopefully. Um, Actually, it might be higher than that. It might be like 350,000. Then I'm having 6 NBA players, former, maybe current. We'll see who can muster up the time. Probably going to be more older players. Like I'm hoping that we get like Gilbert Arenas. We get, um, someone like Sean Marion, guys like that. So stay tuned on that. But it's going to be 6 former NBA players: Ryan Hollins, Brennan Haywood, and 4 other NBA players. And I don't know if it's going to be against us 6 analysts or how we'll do that. I still haven't worked it out yet. Nash would be great. I'll reach out to Nash. Nash would be great. Nash is like my favorite player of all time. Like, of course, Jordan's the best. Jordan's my ultimate favorite. But Nash is like that. I'm Arizona. I predicted I was better at fantasy basketball than I've ever been at fantasy football. I was so good at fantasy basketball. Now I don't know it anymore because I don't follow the NBA much. I do like watching Suns games, but I don't follow the sport as much as I used to. But I predicted Steve Nash to emerge when he was at Santa Clara. No one really knew who he was at all because he hadn't played his final year yet. And I literally wrote about Steve Nash breaking out, and Steve Nash. And I wrote in a newspaper that Steve Nash would be the greatest point guard of all time. And granted, he's not, but to to say that about a guy from Santa Clara that nobody knew about, nobody even thought would get drafted when I said it. Then we started to play well in college. We're like, okay, he might get a shot. Then he gets drafted, probably not to start, gets traded. He's going to go to the Suns, and he goes to the Mavericks. I'm like, damn it. And it comes back to the Suns. Like that was one of my bigger predictions ever. And I wrote about Allen Iverson too, when Allen Iverson wasn't even finished with his final year of college. God, I forget what year that was. But those 2 guys, no one saw coming. Allen Iverson and Steve Nash were literally at the time buried down on anybody's radar. And those were some fun moments, man, basketball. But Steve Nash, oh, like I'm gonna try and get him in this league. That'd be great. And I remember I went to the mall and got his autograph when I was a little tyke, because I was little back then. And I went to the mall And I told him straight to his face as he signed the ball, I said, "You're going to be the best point guard of all time." And he was like, "Thanks, man." And, again, he wasn't the best point guard of all time, but like you could argue he's in a select few point guards that you would say are some of the best that have ever played the game. Steve Nash was one of the dopest. Yeah, Steve Nash is the bomb. All right, guys, I appreciate all of you. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure most of you have, but if you're rewatching this on a replay, subscribe to the show and get ready for more content. I'll drop it all off season long. We're going to get heavy with content here. When I say we, I mean me, because I'm a one-man band, and I'm going to get out of here and go run before I get arrested. And Jay, I'll talk to you later. Good luck with your 475-person league. Again, stick to best player available. It could put you in a hole, but at the same time, what are you going to draft a running back at 21 or whatever pick you have just because, and you're not even liking that player? Like, I'd rather lose loving my team than win with this team I absolutely can't stand, and I'll probably trade away at some point. Don't be afraid to take Mahomes or Lamar if they fall. Try and grab a running back if you can, because it's going to be tough in a 32-team league, bro. But try and grab a running back if you can. But I'd roll with a Mahomes and like a Hunt versus forcing my damn running back to be Fournette and then grabbing a Matt Ryan. Like, I'd rather have Mahomes and Hunt. I'd rather take that chance in that kind of league. I'd rather lose big or win big, because that's the kind of league where if you land that Hunt pick, if you land Tony Pollard, and you have this amazing secret running back rotation, you're just going to crush everybody. If Hunt turns into a full-time guy at some point, you crush everybody because you drafted not preparing for that. Everybody drafted not preparing for that. Damian Harris is a good running back. That's true. Naheem Hines is kind of crafty. Gibson's crafty for later. But good luck in that league. All right, later, guys. Appreciate you.